What's going on, my fellow A-plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new video. It is I, your host, Adam Perez, certainly coming through on a Wednesday. And if it's Wednesday, that means Loki review is certainly here. Unfortunately, our last Loki, at least for this season, guys, is we're going to go ahead and tackle the season finale for season 1 of Loki over on Disney+. They went ahead and dropped that episode around midnight last night. For some of you lucky folks, they got the opportunity to go ahead and check it out. But we are here to finally go ahead and wrap up this season. It's been a stellar season, if you personally ask me, and I really cannot wait to get the writer and director and everybody just back on board to start filming for season 2. But before we get there, guys, we got to explore the craziness that certainly was this finale, all the reveals, some of the twists and turns. Where do we go from here? We're going to be discussing all that for you guys today. And I know you're used to just seeing me and Indy's handsome face when it comes to our Loki reviews, but you know what? The Loki season finale was so big, we had to go ahead and get somebody else involved here also, as we've got Stuart joining us today. What's going on, Stuart? Good to see you, man. Got the locks flowing, my guy.
Of course, man. That good head and shoulders is working its magic.
How was the move? Are you in your new place now?
No, still currently at my girlfriend's place, but
okay.
Officially tomorrow is when I'm allowed to move into the apartment. I am meeting up with the landlord tomorrow morning to finally get those keys, and then I already got my van all packed up to the top with boxes that I'm going to be
Nice.
Putting in. So it's going to be like interesting. I'm going to have to make like 3 trips because I don't feel comfortable driving a U-Haul truck to the city. So I'm just like, I'll just stick with my van, but it means I have to do like 3 trips instead of just one big trip.
As long as it gets done, right? Is all it comes down to. But that's awesome, man. Well, good luck. I hope great to see you get the keys tomorrow and things like that. But you should take us on a personal tour, man. Record it a little bit. Let us see what the new place certainly looks like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But guys, Indy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I know you probably watched this episode, what, like 8 times? How many times have you watched it? 4 times.
I had to work today. Once at 2 when it dropped. When I got up at 6 before I took the kids to daycare, I watched it on my break, and then I watched it with people at work while demonstrating Disney Plus. And I'm selling phones here, guys. So I'm showing how
nice.
well the display is on my phone while watching Loki. Actually working. You know how it goes.
I get
That's actually really clever. A good way to get 2 birds with 1 stone. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
smart,
you know I'm in it, and then I gotta hold off in the chat because I know you don't watch it till after work, and I'm just sitting there like.
I know. I kept seeing a couple of your comments. I was like, "Yeah, Indy's ready to talk about it, man. He's ready to talk about it. He's waiting until 8 o'clock." But man,
it's funny. That's probably one of the few things that is like kind of a benefit of being on the West Coast, because like when it comes to like all the CW shows, you guys tend to get those way before me.
Oh, yeah,
but when it comes to what's funny is with Disney Plus, it's like it gets released everywhere at the same time. So for me, it's like 12 o'clock. I get it like kind of the earliest than from anyone else, or from most of the other world. So it's like, yay, 12 o'clock is like just perfect. So I get to watch it right when it drops.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I was like 5 years younger, maybe I'd wait till 2 a.m. in the morning to watch a Loki or a premiere of a Disney Plus. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait in the morning, man. I gotta get my sleep.
I don't wait till 2 in the morning. I set my alarm and get up.
And you get up at 2. See, I mean, I used to do that back when I was a kid for my Saturday morning cartoons for sure. But yeah, I guess maybe that's my new adult cartoons is Disney Plus series. Maybe I should start setting my alarm.
Oh, then we could do a watch along.
Ooh, 2 o'clock in the morning. You think anybody would join us?
Dude, do you know how many watch alongs are going on for Loki at 2 o'clock?
I guess that's true.
That is very true. Yeah,
I did see like people had like spoiler discussions up, and they were like 9 hours ago. I'm like 9 hours ago. Like I was sleeping during it. Who's up watching this stuff? But clearly somebody is.
What's his name? What's that dude? E-Man News or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he's up. Sleep. You can see the sleep in his eye, like checking a Red Bull, watching the episode, and then having a 2-hour discussion afterwards. I'm like, yo,
maybe we need to put in more work, guys. Maybe we're not as committed as we thought we were. If people are doing that type of shit, but who knows? Maybe we'll see what happens. And we got a couple more Disney Plus series that are set to drop. We got What If in August. We also got Hawkeye later on this year. We might even get Miss Marvel at some point this year. Maybe we'll see if Disney Plus changes it. But guys, when it comes to Disney Plus, Loki is tearing it apart right now. Season 1 has officially ended. Episode number 6 here. We finally got to see the man behind the curtain, if you will. I think it was you, Indy, that gave the great Wizard of Oz reference a couple of episodes ago. And those are definitely the vibes that I wind up getting in here, right? Almost that idea of when you first initially see the person, him not quite living up to your expectations of what you would think somebody would look like or even act or sound like, sort of thing, but to clearly come to find out he's playing a significantly bigger role. I thought the idea of the Wizard of Oz was a great reference for this. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, like I think the best way to describe the way they revealed this, it's definitely kind of like that big rule that they teach you in filmmaking. Give the audience what they expect, but not the way they expect it. And I think this episode pulled that exact thing off perfectly.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, we definitely didn't get who. We were both really close at guessing. I still, I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Can I get some credit, Stuart? Can somebody give me some credit? You don't think so?
You stopped me right before I was gonna give you credit.
Okay. Go ahead.
We both said. Now I've been talking about Kang for the longest and talking about Kang's gonna be in here, and y'all got tired of me talking about it, so I just left it alone. It was like Scarlet Witch because what everybody else picked, right? But everybody was on point with what they said. But I think we were all a little off on the character because I don't think that character is who we thought it was going to be. I think that was somebody totally different. And the way that they're setting this up, man, is that it's crazy. I really feel like we're going to have a different version of Kang that everybody's going to interact with. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how this is going to happen. So just think about I can't wait for the Ant-Man moment, right? To where Ant-Man goes, what are y'all talking about? We got rid of Kang. Well, you got rid of one of them. We still got to deal with this one over here. This is going to be it. Turn the whole entire MCU upside down.
I'm definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting, if anything, more variants to certainly pop up. Look, I'm going to take 100% credit here, guys. I'm going to take all the credit for myself. Well, no, maybe not all the credit, because Indy did, in fact, say Kang. But one of the things that we did at least point out was the fact that I was very much on the impression that it would, in fact, be like a variant of Kang. It did wind up turning out to be a variant of Kang, according to him. But for me, I really am leaning towards the idea of this being Immortus. I mean, he didn't come out and quite say his name. They referred to him as the He Who Remains. But come on, guys, look at this Immortus costume. He got the purple cape and cloak on type of thing. Homeboy was even rocking the little gold circle in the middle. He had the gold sleeves on too in this episode. You gonna tell me that wasn't Immortus, guys?
I mean, it was just Immortus, but like retired, just like done
like at the shit, end of the time,
ready
right?
to like let it finally end. Yeah,
I'm taking my.
No, I would definitely say it's definitely like because definitely correct me if I'm wrong. Immortus is just Kang, but like at his final form, right?
He's just Kang,
yeah,
right?
I would say that's exactly who it was.
At the
very end.
I wouldn't even say it is final form. Immortus is a version of Kang that grew up differently. That grew up knowing different things. So like they're the same. They didn't live the same life. But you know what I'm saying, had the same things going on. That's what made me think. I think there's another version out there to be tied to Immortus or what it goes. I'm almost to the point, and this might seem crazy about it, and this is just me going left field. I might even think that's the version of Kang from what we've seen from the other shows, the one that as a kid went back into the past and became Iron Lad.
I would love to see that. I think that would be pretty cool if that's what their main setup
but
is.
That's him after he did, you know what I'm saying? After he did all that, when he comes and now the timeline's bro, I think he knows exactly what he's doing and what's going on. But man, it's so much to talk about in this flipping episode.
I think what's funny is one of the critiques you'll hear a lot of people that don't really watch a lot of Marvel movies, what they'll say is that Marvel doesn't tend to take a lot of risks. But I'm sorry, if taking like a villain who's supposed to be, this all-powerful, terrifying, type of conqueror and putting him this type of light, the way they do it in this isn't considered a risk to you. I don't know what is at that point then, because this was like one of those things where I think because so many people were expecting, like myself included, I was really expecting like, kind of like a real Kang the Conqueror that would actually be like, very terrifying, very intimidating, and kind of seeing what they go with this, but still have it, totally work within this universe, totally works to set up the version of Kang that we're kind of expecting to see sometime down the line. I thought it was just absolutely incredible the way that all gets set up and the way they kind of slowly built up to it too.
It's reverse Thanos.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is like that. And I think they were pretty clever also in regards to how they introduced Jonathan Majors debuting as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man. The fact of actually giving him that particular title, but not, saying that he's going to debut as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and not really giving us that insight that he's going to be popping up into Loki. So to me, it definitely feels very much like like you mentioned, Indy, at the top, that they probably have other variants of Kang that we'll eventually bump into at some particular point down the road. Kang the Conqueror being possibly an Ant-Man. We've been talking highly about the idea of them building up a Young Avengers team. Who's to say that the Iron Lad that they get there isn't another version that will eventually kind of be introduced to at some point in time? There's even like a
what is it?
Nathaniel Richards. That we brought up also. Yeah, he might pop up, maybe give us some connection pieces to the Fantastic Four.
We do got a Fantastic Four. Everything that's tied, everything that we're tying into, I feel like we're going to have a different version of Kang showing up.
There's even a Scarlet Centaurian, I believe, was another version of him. I'm kind of curious if maybe I was trying to figure out where he could possibly pop up in a future movie. I was thinking maybe Guardians or something like that. I have no idea, but I do fully expect us to see other variants of Kang as Phase 4 continues.
Even with the Renslayer thing, I think we were perfectly on point with that, because I feel like Kang could easily just pulled her out of different timelines and just had her, working for him, for all we know. But man, the bait and twist that they had at the end was nuts. And I know, bro, if I'm Loki, I'm not even wilding out. I'm playing it cool. I'm acting like I know exactly what's going on. I'm just blending in and praying that somebody gets me out of the situation I just got myself into.
I think for me, if I'm Loki and I get back to the TVA and I realize, like, holy crap, it's changed already. Hey, Syndrome. Hey, man, just grow it out for like 2-3 years. You'll be good. For me, if anything, if I was Loki and I realized the timeline had changed and Kang technically is now, Kang the Conqueror is now in charge of the TVA or whatever the case may be, if I was him, I'd try and find the Avengers immediately. I'd be like, I don't know what timeline I'm in, but whatever version of the Avengers I have to find, I'm trying to find them to get some help.
Brother, where's my brother? Where's my brother?
Yeah, where's Thor?
My brother.
I need to find Thor immediately.
We've been apart for too long. I don't need the puny Avengers. I need my brother. Where's Thor?
But real quick, I do want to give Jonathan Majors some incredible praise here, because we've talked highly about him from Lovecraft Country. He's also been in The Five Bloods, I believe, on the Netflix movie as well. We also know that not only is he going to be Kang the Conqueror, but he's also going to be in Creed 3 as the villain. Jonathan Majors' star is just skyrocketing, and I think if you haven't seen Jonathan Majors before, and this is your first time getting the opportunity to see him, he owned every scene that he was in. It was hard to kind of just tear away from it. It felt like, just because I think of his performance, the unexpectedness of who this character was, him being so odd, yet he knew exactly what he was talking about. He was just so compelling on screen, and I'm so thrilled. I'm honestly so thrilled that he's going to continue to be in the MCU and probably get the opportunity to see different versions of him, like personality wise, just to see what the range of this guy truly is like. And I don't know about you guys, but I was really impressed with Jonathan Majors in this episode. I feel like just the acting in general in this season has been remarkable. What do you guys think about Jonathan Majors, though?
Man, I think he's trying to give friggin' Elizabeth Olsen a run for her money. Be dead. He
probably would be nominated if they caught the Emmys in time.
If Rhodey can be nominated for a 5-minute scene he had, Jonathan Majors can definitely get nominated for this episode. But like you said, I don't think he caught it in time, man. But I've seen a million different versions of Kang. Like even in the comic books, like Kang is Kang is hands down my favorite Fantastic Four villain. Like forget Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom to me is an Avengers level threat. Like I always looked at him as like I didn't like Doctor Doom till like he became God Doom and all that. Other than that, he was just annoying. But Kang has always been my favorite Avenger, Fantastic Four villain. And I've never seen him played like this. I don't know whether Jonathan Majors was directed to play him like this, or he just went, I'm going to add my own spice to this.
I would like to know that, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
that would be kind of cool to get that behind the scenes later on.
Yeah, see how he approached the script himself.
But with Tom Hiddleston being an executive producer on this, I can definitely see him telling him just, you know what I'm saying, just do what you do. Because I haven't seen many people stand across from Tom Hiddleston. In these in these Marvel movies, I'm not gonna say like anything else, but in these Marvel movies that he's in, and still a scene from him. Mm-hmm. Like I'm watching, I'm like, oh yeah, I feel bad for Loki, but dude, he over here, like just the way he's looking at his facial expressions while everything is going on. Ooh,
yeah, when they're like, fighting and stuff, he's in the background.
He's like, oh, what's gonna happen? like you're just looking and you're like, bruh, like how do you steal a scene from Tom Hiddleston just making facial expressions? It makes no sense. Like, bruh, he is going to be a lethal threat. Like, they might need to be like, hey, Robert Downey, we might need you to come back for a movie, because some of these people might not be able to keep up. Because I look at who they got on their roster. Love Chris Hemsworth, love him to death, but if it ain't funny, it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so far Dave Bautista can go. Like there aren't that. I haven't seen that level of acting out of a lot of these actors. You know what I'm saying? There, just in that brief spur of the moment, except for a couple. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just happen to be British, and Elizabeth Olsen. So I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, man. And nah, I'm sorry. He said Owen Wilson wasn't great. He was serviceable. Everything else was great. No, I don't know what you were watching. I don't know what you like. Owen Wilson was amazing this entire series, yo. Even the last scenes he had with Renslayer. Like when you're like, oh, he's finna prune her, and then she just snatches the thing from him and kicks him to the ground. He's like, oh, this is familiar. Like, it's amazing, dude.
What'd you think, Stuart, in regards to Jonathan Majors and Owen Wilson?
So I thought he was amazing, like, during his whole monologue performance when he's explaining the timeline and why he created the TVA to begin with. I'm like already thinking he's doing a really good job, and I'm already buying him as like this guy who created the TVA. But the moment that I thought he was incredible was the moment when it passes, the point where he saw everything beforehand. And then, it gets to the point where now everything's a mystery to him. And suddenly it's like his whole performance kind of shifts. And you get this idea that, the like energy that he had, the hyperness, or I guess I'm not sure what to call it, but like
the anxiousness, he wasn't anxious anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like it all went down, and you kind of see like his true face. Like you realize, he has kind of, when he says to Loki, I'm tired, I'm old, you realize he's just in a lot of pain. And this is just, his moment of finally letting it end one way or another, whether it be killing him and letting another one take over, or just finally being able to pass the responsibilities onto someone else. Just, it kind of brings that whole performance like to a whole new light, especially. So I watched the episode twice. So watching it that second time, knowing what the eventual payoff is, that scene is just so much more incredible when you watch it a second time, because you realize, when you know his true intentions by the end of it, it's just such an amazing moment.
Yeah, no, I definitely would agree with you there. And for me, I think I definitely agree with you for sure. And if anything, I really enjoy just the concept and the idea that he, like the ultimatum that he gives him, because it definitely felt very much like a retirement plan for He Who Remains, right? The idea of like, I'm done here, guys. I'm going to pass this job on to somebody else. And I just thought it was a really interesting dilemma for both of our Lokis to kind of find themselves in. You know, like of all the people you can have to make that decision, right? The idea of these two Lokis having to make that decision, I thought was brilliant, because you clearly have one that wants to kill him, and you have somebody in Loki that we've known for such a long time that's always wanted to acquire power. So to have those two Lokis have to make that decision on their own as to how the rest of the timeline or the TVA or existence itself is going to go, I thought it was I thought it was a smart choice of a character for them to focus on for this particular question.
So let me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, because what I'm going to say is going to steer the conversation to totally
this will be really quick
on topic, man. On topic.
One other thing I really got to give a lot of creative or got to give a lot of credit to is definitely with Sylvie's actress, just because of like that last moment of stabbing him and then that look on her face when it's like kind of over. You know, she's expecting some sort of satisfaction from finally getting this revenge that she's wanted for so long, but then kind of like realizing, you know, she's killed a guy who just doesn't care. So she really, you know, just that real moment of realization, even though it's only for a brief moment, when you see her face of realizing she literally got nothing from this. You know, her entire purpose was getting revenge, and she felt nothing after it. You got that whole sense where like she accomplished nothing at the very end of all of it.
Yeah, it's a very like, where do I go from here kind of moment, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I would be curious to see that.
And I think that's the difference between Loki being able to see his entire lifespan and Sylvie not, because Loki knows everything ended. He got caught up to speed real quick. So Sylvie doesn't understand the consequences for the actions that she just had. Like, she can't look outside and see. I mean, that was a beautiful demonstration of everything lining up. Like, it's one of them things. It's one of the moments, like the meme said, and this is where you knew you effed up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. It's like, wait, so he was telling the truth. Okay.
Yeah, but to me, I really feel like that would have been her satisfaction anyway. I feel like her satisfaction should have came from her killing Renslayer, the person that actually abducted her, you know what I'm saying, from her timeline and did all that. And she never even seemed like she wanted to do that. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Does Sylvie doing what she did show you that a woman can't be president?
What? No, that's not at all.
No, I'm just saying, because she let her emotions get the best of her even after. This is my. I mean,
maybe if we had a president that was pulled from her timeline and people tried to kill her and she had to jump for like the next 20 years or however long, then maybe. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, have your entire life ripped from you along with your reality taken away. Of course, all of your decisions are going to be based on emotion.
Yeah. But I really thought it was really interesting. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The kiss that they had really disturbed me, because to me that is still the same person. Like, you know, I'm like, why are you kissing yourself? Like that's how I reacted to it. Like, ew. Like, it's just
incest or masturbation.
I have no idea what it is.
You know, if I look that hot, I might kiss myself, man. If I look that hot, I might want to kiss myself too.
But on which end? Was it Loki or was it Sylvie? Or you just saying both?
Loki? No, I mean Sylvie. Like, if I had a female version of myself, I'd probably kiss myself too.
Miss Taylor, I would definitely vote for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely vote.
Thank you for voting for my mom. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I for me, it's funny that you had a different outcome to, or a different feeling towards that, because I was actually really glad. I was really thrilled that they kind of shared that moment. One, because mostly for Tom Hiddleston's character in Loki. I mean, the emotional range that we've seen him all season long has been fantastic, to the point to where at the end we even see him crying over the idea of him simply just wanting to be safe. For me, that definitely was like the culmination of sort of his character change, and where we're really going to be seeing him kind of go out from that point on. The idea of caring about somebody else's well-being besides his own, I think, is a really monumental move for somebody like Loki, who even for myself, going towards the finale of this, thought to myself, you know, yeah, we're seeing Loki changing and things like that, but there's probably always gonna be that, you know, god of mischief, that one last swerve at the end, you know, so he can obtain that power. And he fooled me myself to showing that he really has kind of made a significant change, putting somebody else's feelings before his own. I thought that was pretty important.
Bro, I don't know. It'd be weird.
If I was as fine as Sophia DiMartino, yeah, I probably would too, Maria.
If they have a baby, was that asexual? since it's like since I have no idea how that happens. Like, is it like how a slug reproduces? I don't know. It's weird.
Well, they haven't gotten to that point. It was just a kiss, so people can't get pregnant on kisses. Indy, it's okay if they didn't teach you.
I don't know. They're frost giants. I don't know how that works.
That's true too. They are frost giants.
If we see Loki in the next season and he got a baby bump.
But for me, I will say this. So it has in fact been confirmed, at least, that we do have ourselves a second season of Loki coming. They haven't given us a release date as to when that's going to happen, where they're going to place that in the phase sort of timeline, if you will. But it would make me kind of curious as to, well, look, we do have a Loki season 2. Does that necessarily mean Tom Hiddleston's character is going to be back? Will this be a Sylvie sort of focused season? Who knows? Maybe it's going to be a crocodile Loki for all we know, and classic Loki having their spinoff that we all want. So what do you guys think we might get for the second season? Or who do you think will be in charge?
I mean, I feel like we're going to get kind of a reversal role now with Loki and Mobius, because now you're going to have Loki being the one catching Mobius up on everything that he's like completely missed out on from I
was a little bit bummed about that.
Yeah, same here. Like, I thought that was like such a big WTF way to end the previous season. So I'm really curious on, you know, how Loki's going to be able to catch him up, or even if he's going to be able to. But I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that they're definitely going to be keeping Tom Hiddleston around, because I think fans love him way too much for Marvel to let him go.
Great. Yeah, he's so great.
I'm thinking we get exactly what he says, but I would love Loki sending other Lokis on missions to do something, because we do need, if we're going to have a Young Avengers, we do somehow need to end up with, because I don't think we're going to have Sylvie as a member of the, she's too old. And let me tell you, she did an incredible job being 9 months pregnant too, by the way. Like, just when she was filming, she did an incredible job at that. But I'm thinking that's the only reason to have Kid Loki in anything and give him a prominent stance in the episode that he was in. I'm the king of this area. Like, showcase him the way they did for the short time they did, to get you familiar with who the character, to show some type of importance. So I'm thinking that's going to have something to do with it. But
I do hope he kind of comes back.
But I'm curious to see what happens now that they kept Tom Hiddleston's Loki alive. Now they're saying that there's rumors, and Feige hasn't not confirmed it, or well, deconfirmed it, that Loki is appearing in Doctor Strange too. Does that mean that Loki's going to be appearing in do we see Loki just popping up and doing what Nick Fury or Agent Coulson was doing? Is he the new Agent Coulson?
I mean, hey, if he's part of the TVA now, yeah, I mean, homeboy can just pop up wherever he wants to. For me, I'm going to be fascinated to see like what Sylvie's going to do from this point on. Like, you're still at the void of time, right? You've destroyed this Kang variant, which I think it's of Immortus, if they're not going to even name him. But I want to know, like, does she take the power for herself? Does she become like this all-powerful enchantress? You know, does the idea of all power finally get to her if she's chilling at the void all by herself this time? Or does she decide to do something else with it? What do you guys think might happen with Sylvie?
Does she grow into being Enchantress? Like,
right, that's what I'm saying. Does she take that step?
Like, does she take that mantle to shed the Loki skin? Does Loki have to go and save her? The funny thing about this is Loki trying to ask people to help him about what's going on, and nobody believing him because he's Loki.
That's gonna be the that's crazy now, right? Like, there is literally a legit threat out there, and I'm sure even if he did do what I told him, like, go to the Avengers, bro. Like, even if he did go to the Avengers, would they even believe him? You know.
It depends on what Thor he went to. If he went to Thor like post Infinity, you know what I'm saying, Infinity War, maybe. But
or
if he
post Endgame, yeah,
post Endgame, maybe.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, but if he went to them any other time, they're gonna laugh him out of the park because they're gonna swear up and down it's another thing. And what do y'all think about? This is crazy. We had 6 episodes this season. Do you think we'll have more next season? Because I think I really do believe the 6 episodes this season, which each episode being tied to Infinity Stone. Each one having a different, you know what I'm saying, a different thing to do with sacrifice. Like this episode to me felt like the Soul Stone with the sacrifice in order to, you know what I'm saying, for the timeline to expand. Like everything felt to me like it tied to an Infinity Stone.
I didn't think of it like that, but that's actually really interesting.
I think 6 is their key. I feel like they got a great amount of story within it. As there was I felt like for Loki season 1, there was probably a ton of information for them to kind of get in, but I think maybe season 2 maybe not feel like so packed with information. So maybe you can let these 6 episodes kind of breathe. But I say personally, for me at least, stick to 6. If it works, don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of hoping for more this time, even though I'm usually the kind of guy that always wants TV shows to have less episodes. For this one in particular, with the other 2 Marvel shows, with Falcon the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, they really just felt like extended movies, less so like more like miniseries than actual television shows. But with this one, I kind of want to see it evolve into like an actual television show style series. So, keep like the really cool budget that it's got, but maybe add probably 2 or 3 more episodes. That way we can have like an episode or 2 where it doesn't necessarily have to move the plot forward, but we can just have more like character focused episodes, and then just more kind of one-off adventures. I know filler. That a lot of people don't like filler episodes, but every once in a while fillers can be fun. I think this is the type of show I would love to see a filler episode in.
That's what they all said until we got Flash with 20 something episodes. So I don't know, but you might be right. I would be like, if they had to move it, maybe the amount of WandaVision episodes to 9, but I don't think we need anything.
Yeah, we don't need 16 or 23 episode seasons. Nothing like that. No, I'm talking like 2 or 3 more episodes.
And I think it holds its impact with lesser episodes, but that's just me.
As they give you one more 25-minute episode. And we end up
for WandaVision.
For Loki, as we end up with 7. The very first episode, 25 minutes long. We have 10 minutes of what happened last season, then an intro, 25-minute episode, and then 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to see what else. So yeah, for those of you, I do want to go over the Kang storyline again here from Jonathan Majors. So he does reference the idea of it says detailed history of himself back on Earth in the 31st century as a scientist, or at least a variant of him was a scientist, discovered the concept of the multiverse. Other versions of himself also realized the same thing at the same time. Eventually, all of them meeting, some of them getting along pretty well, as he referenced at first, and then you eventually find those variants that aren't necessarily there for peace, and then things just kind of start falling apart. Right? Everybody wants. Other people certainly want control. It says peace erupted as other versions wanted to conquer, and the massive war eventually kind of took place. And yeah, this is the type of stuff that clearly is now going to lead us into Doctor Strange, along with No Way Home, more than likely, in regards to what's going on with Peter Parker, I would assume.
To me, it sounds like he wanted a council of Richards, but he ended up with a council of Ricks.
I love it. He even mentions the idea of him weaponizing was it Alioth, that big cloud monster?
Mufasa?
Yeah, that guy weaponizing it in order to sort of end the war.
Funny.
Mufasa one, he did look like a gigantic lion. And so I'm assuming I'm assuming the cities and the destruction that we saw in the Void, maybe not necessarily just prunes of our timeline, but maybe other multiverse worlds together also. So I love how they put the story together, guys. I really did. I thought it was brilliant for them to use a variant of Kanan here. Super smart to go ahead and just kind of put a swerve on everybody.
Yeah, and I also do kind of like, this isn't technically from this episode, but in the previous episode, they did kind of foreshadow it with 2 Easter eggs, with you having the Avengers Tower saying Kang on it, and then you also have the helmet. I believe Yellow Jacket is the villain from Ant-Man. You see his helmet like just there in the background, and because we know Kang's going to be in the next Ant-Man movie, it was like just kind of putting those 2 pieces together. Really, they were some really good ways to really show that this is where they were going to go in the next episode. And again, it kind of goes with, like, I think this is what led to a lot of fans really like extremely sure that Kang was going to be the man behind the curtains, but just not the way we expected to see him at all.
Speaking of people that we didn't expect to see that way at all, what did you guys think about the idea of them going back and finding Ravonna back in 2018, getting an opportunity to see that she was a teacher or a principal of a school at some point in time? What do you guys think about that? I'm wondering
why wouldn't she
picture
want to know what her Nexus event was? If she was just like, like it looked like she was just a principal. Like, what could she have possibly done that caused like a Nexus event that caused her to like get pruned, like, or not pruned, but like forced to like work with the TVA and lose her memories? Was it that she gave it attention to the wrong person or something?
I don't think I'll be totally honest with you. I don't think she had a Nexus event. I'm thinking the Ravonna is more prone to related to Kang that we're used to, and he just pulling her out of timelines, like placing her where he needs her placed and using her for what he needs to use her for. I think that's what she's for, but to me it was smart to use that space where they found her at in order to show the other members of the TVA that, what I'm saying, everybody's a variant. That was super smart. I don't understand how long that took, because they seem like they got thousands of members, but
everybody just coming to that one office.
Yeah.
Well, I assume because they can record stuff on their devices that they probably were recording as it was happening or something like that.
Yeah.
The question I would have is, I'm kind of curious as to where Ravonna ran off to. We did eventually see Miss Minutes wind up gathering information for her, right? She was downloading some files to give to Ravonna. I'm kind of curious as to what could have been on some of those files.
And which version of Kang was Miss Minutes really working for?
Yeah, I would say, if anything, this is probably the creepiest that Miss Minutes has certainly felt through the entire series. I think you might have brought her up once that you found Miss Minutes kind of suspect, Indy. I can't remember if you mentioned that pretty early on or not, but the fact that she comes out of nowhere in the beginning was probably as close to a jump scare as I've experienced in this season at all.
But think about this. Think if the deal that she gave them wasn't from the Kang we were I'm just gonna call him Kang, the Kang we were introduced to. What if it came from another one, and then she gave them the chance? Well, if you go further than this is the only chance you're gonna have, and then they don't take it, so they go, on to do what they're doing, and then she pops back up to go finish what she's finished.
Yeah, I did find that interesting watching it the second time around. I mean, based off of Kang that we see, the variant Kang here, I am curious if based off of the fact that he knows everything that's certainly going to happen, why give him an ultimatum if you know that they're just going to arrive back in the front of your desk? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I did find that interesting. I'm wondering if that's just a ploy by Miss Minutes to kind of get them off of his scent or get them off of his track, if you will. Because, those are two great enticing situations for both of these Lokis. You know what I mean? Like, the idea of them not thinking about accepting it at some point in time. they had to think about it, right?
Nah, our Loki thought about it.
That's what I'm saying. You could see it in his face. I feel like he was like,
his nose was wet. That's why he didn't take it. He looked at Sylvie. He's like, oh no, we don't need it.
Oh, you're not interested in that? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, he looked enticed. He looked enticed for a second.
He was like, the whole TVA be in our own timeline, we could be together. He was looking at that, and then right then is when I knew, hey, she finna turn on this dude, because she didn't even care about being with him, like happy and being with the only person that ever, he's ever trusted. Right then I knew, yeah, she finna do something. I didn't know what she was gonna do, but I was like, right then, you're gonna do something stupid.
I don't think it was like necessarily that she didn't want to trust him. I feel like a big part of her really wanted to trust Loki and still be by his side. But I think it's just spending your whole life not being able to trust anyone, it's just forced her, like, no matter how close she gets to people, it kind of forces her to just push people away, even when they're extremely kind to her. And that's, I think like that moment that Loki wasn't on board with killing King immediately, right then and there, that was kind of her using that as an excuse to prove to herself that she never could have trusted him to begin with. It was her forcing justification on herself, in other words.
And I also do think it plays a big role that nobody really trusts Loki either, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't trusting this guy going into the last episode myself. So the idea of Sylvie maybe not necessarily fully believing him, that he was good, that he would actually not turn on her. I can understand the idea, maybe some distrust, and she clearly had her own motive she wanted to go ahead and take care of. I bet she tried to give a people. Yeah,
not gonna lie, that would make me laugh if that was actually her like Nexus event.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe she was like maybe he was like her teacher back in school or something, like a Nathaniel Richards teacher when he was younger, and that's why he's like fond of her as he's gotten older, right? So maybe she taught him a valuable lesson when he was in school with her or something like that.
Also, Adam, I think there's like a weird tapping noise coming from your computer or something.
From me?
Or now it's stopped.
Oh. Yeah, sorry about that.
Was your leg vibrating, bro? Like, what was?
Yeah, I mean, I do have like my anxiousness. I do have like that anxious leg, you know.
Nah, you was thinking about Sylvie.
Oh, stop! Everybody sees both my hands. You can see both my hands. Let's see here. I do have one question. One question that did kind of pop up in here. When we see Sylvie and Loki going into the Citadel or whatever they call it. There's 4 statues there. 4 statues,
mm-hmm.
one statue destroyed, and the 3 remaining of the timekeepers. Do you think there's something there? Am I stretching? Am I reaching, or is there a component to that 4th timekeeper statue being destroyed?
I think the implication was just supposed to be that Loki and Sylvie weren't the first ones that have tried to take him down before. Okay. I think that's what the purpose was with showing like kind of the destroyed statue there.
A part of me was thinking if, yes, even my mom knows. A part of me was thinking maybe that was himself, and maybe he destroyed it. I don't know. The idea of being stuck inside of a tower by yourself for years, I'm sure could probably drive anybody mad. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Indy, do you think there's anything to that 4th timekeeper statue?
I'm thinking somebody might have been there before him. He took that over and locked them in, and that's when that statue got destroyed. That maybe that statue was the statue of the king that got let loose that took everything over in 3 seconds.
That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Yeah, man. Other than that, guys, I love this episode. I thought this was a great season finale in here. I think it was a great way. I mean, I can understand now why Kevin Feige mentioned the idea that this series really was going to lay the groundwork and the rest of the path for phase 4, because now we've got the timeline just exploded. We're headed towards our multiversal war. And I'm going to be really interested to see how that affects some of our upcoming movies that we wind up having, whether that be Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. Like, I'm trying to think of other television shows or series that might get affected. Like when I think of
Secret Invasion, feels like it's going to be like this.
Well, no, I just mean like more current stuff, like Miss Marvel. Anything that comes out before Doctor Strange. Will it affect Hawkeye at all, or is this or are those series going to be kind of more independent of themselves? What do you guys think?
It can affect anything because it's a multiversal calamity, and like, bruh, I'm still stuck. I'm gonna tell you this, and this is weird because I'm still stuck on a soul for a soul. If Captain America returned the Soul Stone, did Black Widow come back to life?
No, I think it's permanent.
Mm-hmm.
A soul for a soul.
Not if Loki has something to do with it.
No, I think what's going to happen later on sometime down the line is, once they've kind of introduced us to all these like new Marvel characters that aren't as popular as the Avengers, once those characters have been used, then they're probably eventually like 10, 20 years from now going to go back to, okay, let's go back to some of the original Avengers now. And then that's when they're going to use the multiverse as an excuse to bring in new actors to play some of these older Avengers characters. I don't think it's going to happen anytime like super soon. I think Marvel really wants to kind of move on from all the Avengers that have retired or have passed away, and I think they really want us to or I think they really want to make their new characters that they're going to be introducing in phase 4, they want them to now carry that same popularity that the original Avengers had.
Well, we know how that happens. we know how fans go with change.
Well, I think Marvel's like clever about doing it because they're not doing it all at once. They're just like retiring some heroes at a time while giving us new ones. So it's I think the way they're going about it is extremely smart.
I did see something on Twitter today that it was just a random ass comment, but it did make me chuckle. the idea that they felt that after watching Loki, this is a series that made them realize that Marvel doesn't have a plan, is what they said. And I feel like the complete opposite. I feel like, if anything, just based off of what we know is coming and the ramifications of what just happened in Loki, clearly they've got a plan.
Yeah.
How does Marvel not have a plan? I mean, if you look at exactly what's going on, they and this is the crazy way I feel like they did this, because they mind screwed everybody. They announce before anything else happens. This was before Lovecraft Country hit. You know what I'm saying? That Jonathan Majors was going to play Kang the Conqueror. And
I thought it was after. I thought
I think it was after, because I think that's why everyone was excited about it.
Or it was around the same time. I don't know, because I adopted Lovecraft Country late because I didn't like the books. Yes, I didn't like the books. People don't kill me on Twitter. But they do that. They announced that he's going to be the villain for Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? Quantumania. That's the dumbest name ever, but Quantumania. And then they made sure to say that Kang the Conqueror would not be appearing in any of the Marvel television shows. That, you know what I'm saying, pull this. So we know that's not the Kang, that's not the Conqueror that we know. We know he's been called a Conqueror, but that's not the Kang the Conqueror we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got us. Technically it's not, you know. And how do you say that somebody doesn't have a plan when everything that you're plotting out, you go from making sure that Loki gets away in Endgame to almost 2 years later to having this happen in Loki, having what you're happening in WandaVision, have all this stuff tied together, even what you have going on, which I feel like they did on purpose to switch everything around. Because Loki was supposed to be first. Then they switched it to third. They switched Black Widow around. They switched all these release dates around, right? Just to be able to tell the story the way they wanted to tell it, to keep stuff hidden as long as they wanted to hit it. They done drop hints about vampires. They done drop hints about, you know what I'm saying, everything they did and everything they were dropping hints about they've been doing. They have a plan. The problem is you're mad that you can't figure it out.
Yeah, I guess that's probably what it is for some people. That's probably what it is. Time Waster says this multiverse madness might cause a mutation in some key timelines. Cough, cough. Possibility, man. Possibility. I think this does open up the doors tremendously for any possibilities to kind of happen now if you needed to bring anybody in, you know.
No, totally honest with you. We keep talking about a universal, a galactic threat that the Eternals have to be mobilized for, that they actually have to step in.
I'm sure the Eternal movies is this year too, isn't it?
Yeah. This is that type of threat that can make them, you know what I'm saying, come out when it leads to a multiversal war. So everything we thought it might be, because we was throwing Galactus out there, we was throwing the Snap out there, you know what I'm saying, all stuff out there. What if this is it?
Yeah, like I was just starting now that you brought that up, because I was just thinking to myself, like, how do you, after a moment like this, if you wanted to show changes and stuff, would it affect movies and TV series kind of going forward? Like, I feel like this almost kind of perfectly lines up for like post-credit scenes after every movie before we get up to Doctor Strange, you know what I mean? To kind of showcase, like, maybe have their full individual movie, tell their story, and then maybe a mid or post-credit scene have something multiversal happen that might connect everything as a bigger picture. And
maybe that's honestly what causes the mutation and stuff like that in the Eternals, because we know exactly where mutation comes from. Maybe that triggers what goes on. Like, it makes each thing that comes after Loki that much more important. For people that were poo-pooing on the Eternals, now you got to watch it for for every movie. We don't know what's going to happen in Shang-Chi now.
Yeah, maybe the 10 bracelets will turn into the 10 rings. Huh?
Yeah, leave them alone, man. They look cool, okay? That's all that matters.
They do look. I mean, they're technically still rings.
They're technically still rings. They're just they're just solid
Legends
forms.
Of the 10 bracelets.
Yes, they're just solid forms of friggin' Sonya Blade's ability. That's all there are.
I love it. But yeah, guys, overall, again, Jonathan Majors absolutely killed it, living up to the term that Kang the Conqueror is not debuting until Ant-Man. Absolutely correct, because this definitely was not Kang the Conqueror, just clearly a variant. And then we wind up getting the Loki and Sylvie stuff, which I continue to love. Fantastic stuff here this week between them, getting the opportunity to really see Loki fully fleshed out and, clearly a completely different mindset kind of going forward now, and the ramifications of where's the next Kang the Conqueror sighting, you guys think? Do you think it's Ant-Man, or do you think we see something before that?
I think we're going to get a post-credit scene for Doctor Strange. That comes out first, right?
I believe so. I believe that's March.
Yeah. I think whichever of the two comes first, that's when we're going to get Kang the Conqueror. I just don't think in Doctor Strange, Kang is going to be like the main villain or anything like that. I feel like if anything, it'll be like one of two things. He'll just be like either a post-credit scene villain, or his role will be that of Thanos from the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So I don't think he'll be like a huge role or anything like that. But yeah,
I think you get a version of Kang in that. I think you get a different version of Kang in Ant-Man. I honestly don't think you see the real version of Kang until Fantastic Four. Like you don't see the Kang the Conqueror until Fantastic Four.
I'll definitely go. If anything, Kang. If they say Kang's going to be in Ant-Man, I believe Kang the Conqueror will definitely be in Ant-Man. If I had to guess as to where another variant might pop up, yeah, I definitely do think Doctor Strange. I'm just trying to debate if I want to go Scarlet Centaurian, or if we're even.
I honestly think you'll have a variant popping up in Eternals, whether it's a post-credit scene or mid-credit scene or something like that. I think Eternals is bigger than. There's a reason why I feel like they're so quiet about that movie and we're getting so little.
Maybe even Nathaniel Richards and Doctor Strange will be my second choice.
I think we will see something in Eternals. Like it's no reason not to put that there because of the power set of those people. It has to be something huge, other than just the versions of them that turn evil or whatever. It's something bigger than what we know happening with that movie, because they've never been that quiet about a movie, especially something as big and that they didn't spent that much money on.
I don't know. They were pretty quiet about Endgame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
in game they had to be quiet to spend the money. It was the penultimate ending to, you know what I'm saying, an entire phase of what was going on. I really feel like there's something really big finna happen in that, and that's the reason why all we're seeing is Shang-Chi.
Possible. Yeah. All right, guys. Before we end off this, one last question. Stuart, was that Immortus?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Indy, was that Immortus?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. No. I had to try one more time. No. I think that was Immortus. Just with that, I was waiting for the big ass helmet, but I get the idea of not having the big ass hat. I get it. I mean, this would look goofy on screen. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like the color scheme, the purple cloak again, the yellow. Sleeves.
You talk about a series where we had classic Loki.
I guess that's true. Too. That's true too.
But no,
Richard E. Grant pulled that off, man. He really did. He was fantastic.
Yeah, his Instagram was hilarious when it went with that. When he was putting on, when he talked about his dad, telling him that he really want to wear tights and silly costumes and makeup the rest of his life, and he's like, only if my dad could see what I'm wearing now. like
that's hilarious.
But no, I honestly think Immortus is too important of a character just to pop out like that. I do. If it is, like I said, it's a different variant of an Immortus. But the Immortus that we know from the comics, we'll see later.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see if we've already seen them, but we'll see how it turns out. There's plenty of variants out there.
Man, we saw 80 Lokis. I'm pretty sure there's different versions of Immortus out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there for sure. All right, guys. Well, listen, we want to know your thoughts. You've had the opportunity to check out the season finale of Loki. Let me ask you guys real quick. I'm sorry. I know I'm just keep like hyping people up for the ending here. All great series. I think we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
Rank them right now. WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Loki for you?
Are horrible, bro.
This is going to be funny because despite this being the only show that I'm really excited to have a second season. It's the only it's the only one out of three of them I actually think needs a second season. It's actually still probably my least favorite. I would probably say like it's really hard to choose because they're all so different from each other.
Yeah,
Like
they're
it's
all
hard to
different.
say what's best. But I think I'd probably put it as WandaVision first, Falcon and the Winter Soldier second, and then Loki third.
Okay. All right, Stuart. I like the commitment, man. And of course, we always have the opportunity to change our minds as time progresses.
Oh yeah, I probably will.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's like, I'll watch What If, and it might change. Who knows? Indy, are you still thinking about it?
Nah, I know, but I'm not ready for the backlash. I'm gonna get on social media for this.
Oh, who cares, man?
I do. No. Loki, Falcon, WandaVision.
Okay.
All right.
I'm right there with you. That's for me.
And that's because of to me, that's importance on what's happening in the MCU. We won't see the payoff from what happened in WandaVision to Doctor Strange, but with Falcon and with Loki, we got immediate payoff on what's coming next. So they just felt like they were more important than what WandaVision was.
I get you in regards to that. And again, like Stuart said, all these series are completely different. It's really hard to even compare any of these. So it makes it difficult to have to pick like the order that you enjoy them in. Oh, go ahead, Indy. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, but look, I love me some Elizabeth Olsen. I still think she did the best acting out of, you know what I'm saying, the show. Like she did her thing. It's just that.
And I think that's why if anything, I think when I think of my ranking too for Loki, I enjoyed not only just the performances, but just the incredible story that they kind of took us on in these 6 episodes. For me, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, while I didn't necessarily care too much about like the organization that they're trying to help, the peace, what are they, the Flag Smashers? I didn't really care too much about the Flag Smashers, but I really enjoyed just the message and the storytelling that came from it. Like Carl Lumley that played Black Captain America, he definitely should have been nominated for like supporting character or supporting actor or something like that. I just thought Falcon and Winter Soldier also had a really meaningful, very deep, great acting and performances that I really enjoyed. And when it comes to WandaVision, while I wasn't it wasn't necessarily the story that captured me, but I have to agree with you, Indy. I think if anything, it's probably Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen that really killed it. Like to see their performances, to see them be able to grab a hold of those characters and make them sort of their own and really flesh them out to make me appreciate them even more kind of going forward. I think that's a really big thing to certainly do. So I enjoyed them all in their own significant way. But yeah, I'm going to go Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and WandaVision.
Yeah, it's Scarlet, but out of the 3, I mean, I put her last, but it's Scarlet Witch I want to see the most because I want to see
the outcome of her future type of thing. How she grows.
I want to see her the most. But man, I don't understand how that ending of Loki, how you can't put that higher and everything they did with that show, and just what Falcon and the Winter Soldier set up for the future is just huge.
And
huge.
I totally agree with you there. And clearly, not to take anything away from WandaVision, the show was clearly great. I mean, the show literally has like 20 something nominations in the Emmys right now. So they racked up. So they definitely did their part in regards to it. So I have no problem with people putting WandaVision as their first. It's really however you prefer it. But they have all really strong series.
And they have more episodes to tell that story. Loki did it in 6.
Yeah. Loki and Falcon were both 6 episodes, right?
They did all that storytelling in 6 episodes. WandaVision took 9.
But like with WandaVision, I kind of get it though, because they had a little bit more of an episodic feel to them in the beginning part, anyways. Whereas like Loki and Falcon were definitely very serialized.
I gotta tell you, man, I love what Marvel's doing. Like each series has felt incredibly different, and I think they're just going to go ahead and continue to do that. I am kind of curious as to what the vibe is going to be like for a Hawkeye. If that's going to be like we kind of mentioned Born Identity felt like, or Black Widow felt like Born Identity. I'm wondering if they're going to kind of keep that tone there. But like they even talked about She-Hulk kind of being like a comedy law firm type of show, a sitcom type of thing, which I think it'd be pretty interesting to kind of see how they tackle it, but they are not afraid to change it up.
So She-Hulk's gonna be like Harvey Birdman.
It might
Yes,
be. It might be,
please.
bro.
Oh my God, please. Harvey
and-
Birdman, but the Marvel universe. So she has to
and-
like represent different superheroes. That would be so great.
And then like you keep talking about Hawkeye. Hawkeye's gonna be something serious. And now that you bring it up, think about how early they set up Hawkeye in the Black Widow movie. From Yelena talking about the arrows in the wall.
Oh yeah, Budapest and stuff.
And and them talking about, oh, we had to hide up here for hours. You know what I'm saying? To the end credit scene of that, to knowing that she's going to be hunting down Hawkeye.
Maybe that's a story he shares with her in the series.
Yeah, maybe we actually figure out exactly what happened, because I'm tired of the breadcrumbs from what happened in Budapest.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe I wonder if Budapest was before he got married and had kids. Because I've always wondered what the relationship they have, and how she always like loved them kids, but always looked awkward around his wife. If they had like a fling.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's after, but I could be wrong. I would be interested to see how that plays out in the storyline. But man, guys, that's it for us here. If anything,
no more Loki.
No more Loki, at least until next season. Once we get more details, we'll definitely keep you guys posted. You guys know to make sure you follow us every Sunday live at noon Central Time for A+ Hero Report, where we go ahead and highlight all the news from movie, TV, Marvel, and DC for you guys. So definitely go ahead and join us then. Our next series will in fact be What If. I believe that's definitely in August. Not quite sure exactly when it drops in August. But we definitely will be providing reviews for you guys. If not us as a group, one of us individually, maybe tag team in it, who knows? But What If will certainly be here for you. And if anything, this really set up What If perfectly. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want to see if the Beyonder drops it. When we talking about everything else, what is the Beyonder going to talk about?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like he might be maybe just a narrator I
don't care. I want to see if you talking about, well, this is what happens when Loki, like, what if Loki, if the reason we're getting What If stories is because of how bad Loki messed up?
Or maybe this is, I could definitely see that. These being tales off the branch timeline now, for all we know.
That'd be crazy.
That would be pretty crazy.
But episode about alligator Loki, where he came from.
But yet Kevin Feige has no plan.
Right? Come on, man. Come on, for sure. But yeah, guys, we definitely want to know your thoughts. You had the opportunity to see the season finale of Loki. What did you guys think? Let us know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below. Only thing I ever wanted was to see Owen Wilson on a damn jet ski, and I still didn't get that opportunity. Maybe one day. Maybe
next season.
Maybe next season, for sure.
His next movie, he's gonna be like a jet ski racer, and it's gonna be like some comment about him being Mobius. Watch.
I would love it. All right, guys. But until next time, as always. Oh, you know what? Real quick, let me give you guys some opportunities here. Stuart, if people want to follow you on social media, where can they find you, sir?
You guys can find me at TurboStew01 over on Twitter, and you guys, of course, can follow all my reviews. I do Superman and Lois here on A+ Hero Report, and very soon I will be doing Stargirl as well once that show premieres.
Stuart's got all the good shows.
Yeah, we're gonna get you a good show. We're gonna get you a good show, man. We're gonna get you a good show. All right, Indy, how about you, man? Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with the Flash review. Stuart, we finally got a good episode.
I know.
So definitely always check me out at A+ Hero Report with your news and reviews for all your nerd and geek pop culture. You can find me everywhere else at Nerd Mix Alpha, and you can stream my music. Just search Indy Uchiha.
Awesome. And of course, guys, if you want to follow us on social media, right up here at A+ Opinions, very active over on Twitter, as well as our main page, which is our Facebook page. So definitely go ahead and check us out there. And you can certainly find us over on Instagram as well. But until next time, guys, do me a big favor. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.